Hello everyone. Hello. In the author interview series, we have another talented and dashing personality with us, Miss Rirandzu. So let's welcome. Hi Rirandzu, how are you? Great to have you
I'm
here.
fine. I'm fine.
Great.
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So Rirandzu is basically from South Africa. She spent all her childhood, her family is in South Africa, her education is from South Africa. She's currently in UAE, Dubai, uh, from last 2 years, and now she's professionally active in Dubai region. Just to give you the background of her qualification and her accolades and her achievements, she is basically a very qualified transformational coach, uh, negative emotional therapy practitioner, neuro linguistic programming, that is NLP practitioner, and obviously she has dedicated her life in helping others and unlock their full potential. She is basically master of one software language called COBOL. She's a software professional, by the way. And from last 23 years, she's a practicing information technology professional. She is author of one book that is called Eat Your Cancer Away. So obviously we will be talking about that book today. But she has written one more book that is Love Beyond the Grave. We will be talking about a bit about that book too. But you can see that book, Eat Your Cancer Away, on the background. So obviously, uh, uh, that's the main book, and you can find that book on Amazon. So obviously we will be giving link to that book in the description, and obviously if you are interested, you can buy a copy of that book, and this book will be home delivered to you through Amazon. So that's a brief introduction of Rirandzu. uh, you can add to it if I have missed on anything. Please add to it.
Dr. Deepak, I think you have done justice. You have introduced me well, and thank you for that.
Great. So, eat your cancer away. That's the title of your book.
Yes.
Can you briefly tell us about this book, what this book is all about, and what you have tried to cover in this book? Something about your book, if you can elaborate on that.
Thank you. What I can say, the book Eat Your Cancer Away outlines how one can take back their life by consciously choosing to live holistically. And if you have got a physical challenge, then you can heal holistically. So I, in the book, dwell mostly in the totality of a being, that we've got what we call PEMS. So it's your physical being, your emotional being, your mental being, and your spiritual being. So when you are living, when you live holistically, you're considering the four aspects. Even when you are being diagnosed and going through a journey of healing, you need to do that holistic healing, taking into consideration about that. So the book is about that. So the title, it says Eat Your Cancer Away, but it's for everyone, because everyone needs to live holistically.
Great. Uh, why did you think that writing a book on this topic was essential, and you are the right person, or you are the authority, or you have all the rights to write on this topic? Why this topic? You could have written on anything, but why this topic?
So I will say fortunately, and other people will say why fortunately, but I'll say fortunately, I was diagnosed with two primary cancers. So in my diagnosis of two primary cancers, while navigating through this diagnosis and trying to figure out what can I do, and then I ventured into researching and find different modalities of healing. And that's when I said, let me start venturing into this modality and see how they will help me. So as I was going through them and I found benefits in them, it was well and good for me to say, let me share with other people because, nowadays cancer is a buzzword. So I said, more people are diagnosed every day. Let me share my journey. Let me share what I'm doing with other people. Then it can help them too.
Okay. And that's why you thought you must write on this topic.
Definitely.
So, what was the thought process when you actually started writing, and when you decided that this is going to be my book's topic? Uh, what target audience you had in mind for? This book is for whom?
This book is for everyone that is living on this earth. As I said, it's about cancer because I'm talking about my journey. However, in the book, I have the correlation of the power of the food and also the power of the mind. So, in that instance, is that when we are living on this earth, we need to be cognizant of what goes through our mind. We need to be cognizant of what are we putting into our body as food. So this book, it's not specifically for people that are going through cancer. It would be good for the people that are going through cancer because my experience is going through cancer. But however, whatever I'm doing or whatever I've shared in the book, it's for everyone that is going through anything on this earth.
Great, great, great. So, immediately my next question related to the same thing.
Okay.
Whoever reads this book, whoever goes through this book, what is he going to learn and understand and explore in his life? What he will get it?
So, and that is a good question because the other side of people were saying, you're saying you change your diet, but you didn't tell us in detail what you're eating. So, in this case, when you read the book, there are nuggets. I'm talking about my life. So, I've laid down my life and to say, this is how I'm living, this is my day to day living. So people can then take whatever nuggets that they associate with and implement in their life. And while they are implementing it, they will see the difference. So this book is for everybody. And there are a lot of nuggets that you can pick up from the book. And even if you were to take one, you will see a difference in your life.
Wow. How long it took you to complete and finish your book? Duration wise, how many days, how many months, how many years?
It took me 6 weeks.
It took you 6 weeks.
Yes. And it took me 6 weeks, Dr. Deepak, noting that I'm still working in IT. I've got an 8 to 5 job. I'm studying and I was writing, but it took me exactly 6 weeks.
Wow. So that is less than 2 months.
Yes.
Wow, wow. And with your busy schedule, when you were occupied with your professional responsibilities and everything, you still could complete within 6 weeks. That's commendable. That's great. Fantastic. Great. How many hours did you use to write per day as such?
I used to write for 2 hours at most. However, in some cases, it will be 4 hours. But then noting that the 2 hours I will wake up at 3 o'clock, right, from 3 to 5, and then the other 2 hours I maximize the commute time because I'm using the train. So I've got an hour going to work, I will be writing, an hour coming back from work, I'll be writing, and then weekends, then I will spend 4 hours writing them.
So you utilized that commuting time and traveling time, which
Yes,
you would have otherwise lost or wasted.
yes, yes. Wasted or maybe be on social media. But
Correct.
then I was busy writing, and thanks to Google Docs, because everywhere I was, I would be able to then access the script and then write.
When your family, when your closed friends, they came to know that you're writing on this topic and you're writing about your journey and everything, what was their first reaction when you announced this?
They were very excited. And to note the title, I brainstormed the title in 2022. And while the person that I was brainstorming with, then she was 6 year old granddaughter. She said, Granny, when are you writing the next book? And I said, you know what, I'm thinking about it. And she said, so you'll be writing about the cancer? And I said, yes. We sat down and say, okay, let's brainstorm about the topic. So the topic was born 2022. And that's when the family was behind me. They said, yes, go ahead. I think it will help more people because we have seen a change in you.
Okay, so they all were excited and happy when you announced it, huh?
Yeah, very excited.
And now when the book is out and now when it is available on Amazon and you must have given them a copy, what was their reaction when the book actually came in their hands?
They were very happy and supportive, very happy. And hence, last week I made a point that I should go back to South Africa to celebrate with them, to launch the book in South Africa. And the event was very successful. They were happy, and the support is amazing. Amazing.
So it was a very happy moment for you and for them too.
Yes, definitely.
How was the reaction at your professional front, your colleagues, your bosses?
They were very supportive also. So I found that since I embark on the journey of holistic healing, I don't shut my mouth. So whenever there's an opportunity, I'll talk about. So the colleagues knew that I was writing a book, and they were looking forward also for the book to come out. And when it came out, most people bought from work and they gave me good reviews. So they are very supportive also.
So you got support from your family, from your colleagues, from your bosses, of course, your friends.
Yes.
And from that perspective, you were very, very lucky.
I regard it as blessed.
You are blessed because most of the time, when we announce that we are writing a book, we came across criticizers, and they, what are you going to do with this, and why are you writing, and nothing will change, and then no one will read. So instead of encouraging us, they discourage us. But
Yes,
when but now when you are saying that you had supporters around you, I'm very happy. That was a support system which gives us strength.
yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
So when you said you took almost 6 weeks to finish this book, complete it, and then give it to us for publishing, everything was done. So, what kind of major hurdles you faced during your writing journey? Did you face any obstacles? Did anything stop you in between? Any difficulties or anything?
I would say I didn't have any difficulties. Maybe for the first 2 weeks while trying to figure out how do I, because I'm studying to be a hypnotherapist. So I've been studying, writing, and going to work. And at work, there were deadlines. So I think for the first 2 weeks, the challenges were how do I structure this? And once I got the structure and I followed the structure, everything was flowing. And I think what I can allude to is it's the two things that are important when I embarked. I told myself I need to be committed and I need to be accountable. So I would say those are the two ingredients to the whole recipe, to say I'm committing and I will involve myself fully 100% and be determined to see that I commit to the truth of it and finish it. And I was accountable also to myself. And I say, I'm accountable to myself. And I'm grateful also to Dr. Kalish because he was there as an accountable partner. Even the whole tribe was there as accountable partner. And what helped us also is the collective energy. Because even though I was not joining the 5 a.m. Zoom call for writing, but I knew that they are there. And just to know that they are there. When I was writing at 3 a.m., I will then pull that energy to myself. So that is what helped us. Yes.
Great. So actually, I was about to ask you this question separately, but you already answered. What do you feel about the support system available when any other author writes with us? So, but you already answered, but you can still elaborate on it.
No, the journey was amazing. The journey was amazing, and I think from the start, when I attended the boot camp, for me it was like, wow, I've got 25% of my book already completed. What will stop me to complete the whole book? So the journey was amazing, and I would say people can reach out to Wings Publishing, and I found a second home because like I've been communicating with you, even though we haven't met physically, but with emails, and I could find all the support that I was looking for. And for me, it was a wow to say, you can finish the book in 6 weeks. And I've been contemplating to write this book since 2022, and this for me was great. And it's all about the support from Wings Publication.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you very much. When you finished your writing part and then when you submitted your manuscript to us, within how many days the book actually came in the market? How many days it was listed?
I don't remember the exact time, but it's less than a month.
Approximately.
Approximately, I would say two weeks to 2.5 weeks. I think because I didn't have the back and forth a lot, and I just said to myself, if I go through it several times, I'll change it. So for
Correct.
me, it was like, okay, I went through once and I said it's fine. So I will say approximately two to 2.5 weeks.
Okay. Okay. And how was that publishing experience?
It was great. You get all the support that you need, and I will tease Abbas and say, Abbas, I'm at the age where some of these things I don't understand, so you'll help me. And he was patient with me. So the whole process was seamless. So there were no hurdles, nothing. You send an email, you get a response within few hours.
Fantastic. Now when this book is out and you have a copy, what are you going to do with these copies? How are you planning to promote it? How are you planning to spread the awareness? What exactly you are going to do with this?
Okay, that is a great question. Thanks for asking that, Dr. Deepak. The first thing is to run master classes, because I think the first point is to give back to people, is to run the master classes and let people be aware. And I will then take people also to the journey, take them to my kitchen, take them to when I go to the store to say, this is how I'm selecting my food, and this is how I'm preparing my food, because I've changed from being a meat eater and become vegan, and that's how I'm living my life. So that is what my intention is, and I'm setting a goal for myself to say, if I can reach out to 1 million people that will be able to change their lives, I think I would have done what my highest purpose is on this earth.
Great. So now people would be approaching you and asking you how many days you took and how did you write, and give me some tips and tell me some techniques. I also want to write. Obviously you must be meeting such people.
Yes.
So anyone who wants to write now, who's beginning to write now, who wishes to write, what kind of tips as a published author you would share with them?
Um, Firstly, I will. The first thing is to go to Wings Publishing; they will help you. But then, secondly, I think I will just reiterate what I indicated first: the commitment and accountability. Because for me, commitment is a decision. So when you're saying you want to write a book, you need to decide, is this really what I want? And you commit to it. So I will advise them, once you have decided, then you must commit and be accountable. Be there. Look for an accountable partner if you don't have, so that it will be easier for you to then finish it on time. And it's proof that you can finish in a month. Hence, I said for me, for the first 2 weeks, I was still trying to figure out. Hence, it took 6 weeks, but it's doable.
Okay. Uh, I know that you have written a book previously also. Let's talk about that book, because obviously that book is not published by us, so I don't know anything about that book. So can you briefly tell about your first book as well?
Okay, the first book, the title is Love Beyond the Grave. So that book, I wrote it while I was grieving. What happened is I lost about 5 people that were dear to me during a short space of time. So if I were to mention them, in 2017, I lost my granddaughter. She was 4 months. In 2018, I lost both my parents. And in 2019, I lost my sister-in-law. And then 2021, I lost my fiance, whom we were engaged for 6 months. So through the losses that I went through, and when going through the grief, I will pick up things that will show me that even though these people are gone, you can still feel their love. And then that's when I decided, let me write this book, Love Beyond the Grave. So that's where I indicate whatever was happening to me during grief and grieving, then it's what is in the book. And I was grateful that I've done transformational coaching, so I could take myself through grief, even though I reached out to other coaches to help me. But then while applying that, I found that it was easier for me to go through the process of grief. And hence, I can then help people that are going through grief. And in South Africa, I was doing grief coaching for people.
Sometime back, you mentioned that you are learning hypnotherapy, and obviously, your profile also says you are an NLP practitioner, coach, and you do plenty of other things. On one side, you are a technical person, IT professional. On other side, you're talking about psychology, and you're talking about NLP and hypnotherapy and healing modalities and other things. How are you going to manage everything? How do you manage?
I do manage, and everybody has got 24 hours in a day. And I get this question most of the time in all the interviews that I've been through. They tell me, where do you get the time? Are you managing all this? And it all boils down to choices. We make choices in life. So if I choose, then this is how I'll maximize my time. I'm not saying Netflix is bad, but for me to sit down and watch a movie, maybe I can do that once in 3 months, because I'm maximizing my time. And I know how to separate also my work life to my personal life. I don't take my work life home. I don't take my personal life to work. So hence, I manage to allocate time and say, this is how I'm managing it. And other people will further say, why I've got 7 grandkids. I spend time with my grandkids, I play with them, and I still find time to do that. So it boils down to, when you sit down and say, I've got 24 hours, you choose how you want to spend your 24 hours.
And you are a transformational coach too. So you transform lives.
Yes, definitely.
Please tell me more about this activity.
So the transformational coaching, it helps to help people to be aware of their limiting beliefs. We know, and when we grow up, there are beliefs and there are values that we adopt all our lives. So when you go through a transformational coaching sessions, we help you also to look at your life and be able to identify that this is not where I want to be. And we say, why are you not there? And then when we unpack, you find that you have got negative beliefs. Sometimes we call them sabotaging beliefs, because it's beliefs that we got them either from our parents or from the society, from in churches, if you go to church or any religion. So those ones are the ones that we have. And if they are not working for you, then you need to change them. So that's what transformational coaching is.
So you do one-to-one coaching, you do group coaching. How do you do it?
I do both. I do both. I do one-on-one, and it is great now with Zoom. You don't have to be where people are, so it's international. I do coaching one-on-one in groups through Zoom, and it is going well. Thanks.
Okay. So you have published one book previously. Now you have published the second book. What is your next plan? What are you going to write on as your third book?
Funny you asked that, because I already have got a topic for the third book. So, but yesterday while sitting and then meditating, and I said, if I write this book, because now I know the formula, I can write this book within a month, and by November it will be out. Will I be doing justice to my second book, Eat Your Cancer Away, or it will ever overshadow it? But nonetheless, I'll start the book. The book will be titled Self-Appointed CEO.
Mm-hmm. Different topic.
Different topic, but connected.
Connected.
So it will talk about, if you need to live holistically, if you need to heal holistically, you need to appoint yourself as a CEO of your life. So if you appoint yourself as the CEO of your life, it will determine the decisions, the choices that you will take. But with that book, I'm not going to narrate a story. I'm going to make it as interactive, because it will be accompanied by a workbook where a person needs to go deeper within themselves and dig what they want, and be able to carve the CEO that they want to see at the end of the day.
You mentioned at the beginning that you were diagnosed with the cancer and now you're completely okay. But what are your learnings from the life perspective? What are your learnings from the cancer?
And to correct that, most people, when they see me also, even last week when I was in South Africa, I was giving a talk, and I said to people, who thinks I still have got the cancer, and who thinks I'm completely healed? I've seen 80% of the people, they said you're completely healed. And I said, no, I'm still on the journey, because I even went and did tests where they said 100% you're clear from doctor's perspective, but from my heart, I'm clear, because I live my day one day at a time. So if I'm here today, that's enough for me. I don't preempt what will happen tomorrow. And what I've learned so far is the power of the mind. I've learned that our mind can make us sick, and our mind can heal us. So the power that our mind has is very important. And that's the learning that I'm taking out of this journey that I am. And secondly, it's for me to be vulnerable and say I'm open to all the modalities that are out there. And if I go to the temple, I pray with whoever is in the temple. If I go to a mosque, I pray. If wherever I am, if it's a spiritual environment, that for me, it's for me to say I need to connect with God, because what I've picked up is that God is one. We can have different religions, but God is one. And
Correct.
it helped me also. I went to Bali, and I found, when you go to a place and it says you've come back home. And for me, it's what I needed throughout this journey, to say, you know what, you need to feel connected to God.
So Another relevant question. As a coach, as a human being, as a cancer fighter, as an author, what is your message to the world?
Message to the world is let's love each other. And let's love each other so much that we make each other aware of the era that we're living in. We're living in an exciting era where the information is out there. And what we need to do is to hold each other's hand and say, we've got this information. How can we utilize this information? Because we're not living in the era where we were still going and looking for encyclopedias and look for information. Information is everywhere. But then the people need guidance as to how do you take that information and use it for your benefit. So I will say to people out there, if you don't know how to do it, reach out to the people that can help you to say, this is how you utilize the information that is around you.
Help is available, just look for it, ask for it.
Definitely.
Great. Do you want to say anything more from your side apart from the questions I asked? Do you want to speak on anything specifically?
I think we've covered. I just want to add, I think I'll call it my aha moment while writing. What I found is that writing it's therapeutic. From my first book and to my second book, there's something that happens within you when you write a book and you publish it. And sometimes I won't do justice into explaining it, but the authors will understand what I'm saying. You find yourself, like my two books are, I think it's my challenges in life. And when I was writing, I could like now feel, you know what, I've went through a lot. But I don't think I've sat down and said, I've went through a lot, now I need to go to a shelter. As I was writing, I had that energy to say, go on and write, so that somebody can go through the mistakes, through the challenges that you went through blindly. Because now you have reflected on them, you have seen where you made mistakes. So it is better to then write. And that helped me also to unleash the inner strength that I have. Because most of us, we undermine ourselves. And we have got that inner strength that it's there for each and every one of us. And I've used that inner strength as a guiding star for myself.
Wow, that was a fantastic message.
No, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Rirandzu. It was fun talking to you. It was enlightening at the same time, knowing you as a person, knowing you as an author, understanding about your journey that really inspired us. And thank you very much again for taking time out from your busy schedule, connecting with us, talking to us, and sharing your insight. We are highly, highly grateful. So
Thank you. Thank you.
God
And God bless. Thank you.
God
Thank you
bless
so
you
much.
with all the happiness, health, wealth, and prosperity in your life. Keep doing the great work. Keep spreading the smile.